today. So I have my real hair today. It's looking really big right now. I just had to blow dry it and see if it's grown. um, but yeah, the good thing about being quarantined right now is that I'm not putting any heat on my hair really, and so it's actually growing and trying to keep it healthy and whatnot. So, the protective styles are actually pretty good for me at this point. Because I can't go to the hairdresser. But I did hit her up and was like, I'll see you in June, so go ahead and put me on the books. um, so, I don't know, like I have been dealing with a lot of emotions like this past week. Just, you know, I don't know, like, for my daughter's birthday and everything, that was good. But I was just like really like weepy and emotional. And I was reading up about the Scorpio moon, which is the full moon that we had. And it was one of the things that it brings is like purging and things like that. Allowing people to just let go of the past, let go of things that need to be dealt with or let go. And so I felt like the conversation that I had with my ex-husband was a good one. It just really helped me to see that, okay, I need to let that go. I realized that I was harboring a lot of just resentment to just different guys, I guess, in my life. And I guess I just never really took responsibility for the part that I played. You know what I mean? Like, I think as females, we're really, I think that sometimes we play the victim role like too much. You know what I mean? A lot, actually. We want to blame a lot of the decisions that we make on the other person and not on ourselves because we chose to go that route with that person. And so I had to like just really dig deep and look into my soul and realize, you know what? I made some bad decisions. You know what I mean? And a lot of the reasons why I'm at the place that I'm at right now is because of me. And that's a tough pill to swallow. It just is. Nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody wants to take blame for the things that happen in their lives. It's just easier to say it's that person's fault or her fault, or his fault. And so it was actually, I don't know, like even though last week to me was like tough emotionally, it was Mother's Day yesterday, and I had a good Mother's Day. I never know how I'm going to feel the day before there's a holiday of some sort. I'm always kind of like nervous about how my emotions are going to be because I can be feeling fine the day before, and then that next day of that holiday, just name any holiday, birthday included, I would just feel like either happy or sad. It just depends on that moment. It depends on the memories that pops up on my phone from Google Photos, Instagram, Snap, Facebook. And I'm just like, maybe I should just delete these apps because they bring up these memories from the past. And obviously they're going to have, me and my ex and things. But it's usually happier times, And that's the part that's hard to deal with for me. It's just that you're just like, you have to realize that there were good times too. You can't just say it was all bad because it wasn't all bad. Obviously, if I had two little girls to show forth, it wasn't all bad. And it's just like sometimes I think that I fail to look at that and say there were good times too. And I can't just make it like it was all bad. And I can't focus so much on the negative all the times. It just has to be a balance. And so I don't know, like I just started going back in my mind and I started thinking about past people that I've been with and shared moments with that I probably shouldn't have. And then I think, well, maybe there are times probably I should have, because I need to learn lessons. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's just it doesn't matter so much as you make mistakes or not. I feel like, do you learn lessons from them? You know what I mean? What can you take from that to grow? You know what I'm saying? To go to the next level, to go to the next stage in life. Because I believe that there are lessons that we need to learn on this journey before we can go to the next round or whatever. So I guess it's like I just been doing a lot of thinking and just soul searching. Basically, I was listening to Tony Gaskins or Gadkins or something. He's a YouTuber, but I know he's like a life coach, dating coach for women, basically, but for anybody, I'm sure. And Empress, I took your advice, and I've been listening to him a couple of different times, and he gives advice to women, and he coaches people, you know. And one of the things that he said today really got me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'm always like, with it comes to men, I'm not gonna lie, I give like a little side eye when they start trying to give advice to women. I'm just like, what's your angle here, buddy? You know what I mean? Like, really, what are you trying to say? Are you just trying to put down women and make us out to be, you know? But the more I listen to him, that's not his intention. Like, his intentions is really to help women basically expose guys and all their, you know, their games and things, which is good. But he's honest, because, you know, he admits that he was actually in that mindset at some point. So he's able to kind of help women when it comes to, you know, getting over certain things, or how to approach men and what to do, what not to do in certain situations, how to talk to men and things like that, how not to talk to men as well. And I just thought it was interesting to hear his point of view, because it was a little bit different. He's really raw. So it's like, I like that, because he's not really polished and just, you know, just kind of straight laced and telling you what you want to hear, what sounds good. It doesn't always sound good. And so today, I liked what he was talking about, because he was mentioning, you know, "Are you this type of woman?" was a title. And I was like, oh Lord, what is this? And it was basically, are you a toxic person, you know? And he was basically saying that at the root of it all, when someone is toxic, meaning, you know, those people are just always angry about things. It's like they don't have any joy in their life. They hate on other people's successes and things like that. They always got something negative to say. You know, like you might see, like on Instagram, you might see a happy couple. You're like, I bet they're not that happy. You know, like, why would you even say that? You know what I mean? So it's just things like that is what he was saying. He says there's a hurt inside of that person. And instead of just acknowledging, you know what, I'm a little jealous of that female and that couple and their happiness, or what looks to be happiness, and just kind of eating it and just kind of dealing with your emotions. But he says you don't have to say it. You don't have to make comments to people, you know, like those trolls and things like that. You've seen them. It just, they spew hate out of them and just negativity, and just to bring that person down. You know, a person posts a picture of, you don't look all that great, or you know, it's like they got jokes, or they just, you know, it's just like a way of bringing, it's like that bully mentality, you know what I'm saying? Where they don't feel good about themselves, so they're going to bully. And so yeah, he was saying, like, what women tend to do in relationships is, if they've been hurt in the past when it comes to men, they take that hurt and that toxicity, they don't deal with it, they don't grow from it and anything like that, or heal from it, and they come into another relationship and they take whatever happened in the past from that past person and they take it out on that new person. And I just thought that was so neat, because he said that, you know, if a guy, he's working hard, he's doing what he needs to do, and, you know, he might come home late, and, you know, the girl's like, you know, she'll say, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, I've been working. Sure you have. You know, that kind of stuff. And he's like, you've already had 2 strikes against the dude, and the guy's a good dude, but you're looking back, you're talking to your ex. You haven't dealt with the last guy. So you're bringing it on this new guy. And he was like, and that's toxic, and you've got to do, you got to heal from that. And so I was like, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized that there are things that I'm starting to see that I've done, and I've yet to probably apologize to people for, because I had that toxicity as well. You know, everybody is not out to get you. You can't think that everybody's a bad person, or has some ulterior motive of some sort. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm always like, oh, they must be thinking this, and that, and that person is not even thinking that, and it's all in your mind. And you just got to really reconcile with yourself that you have some hurts and you have some things that you need to deal with. And so it's just like, I kind of dealt with that today. I meditated and I prayed, and I was just like, God, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably shouldn't have done a lot of things. And I just start looking at a lot of this stuff and start taking responsibility for my actions and scenarios that I've been through with people, even hurting another person, a female, because I was hurt that this person, that the guy that she's with chose her over me. And I didn't know that I made her experience in school a difficult one because I was talking about her. And let me tell you, karma is a bitch. Okay? Because it came back to me. You know what I mean? I had someone talk about me and, spread lies and all that kind of stuff. Now, mine weren't lies. But, one thing you got to know about karma is she doesn't care exactly who you are or what you did. It's going to come back harder and worse on you. So it's just like, you put out negativity, it's going to come back in some shape or form, and you have to be careful about it. And it doesn't matter how young you are or whatever. That was years ago. I was in my 20s, and it's just like, gosh, and I had to eat it. I didn't like it, but I had to eat it, and I had to look back, and I just had to say, I don't know, I probably won't ever see her or anything like that. But if I had the chance, I would apologize to her. And so what I did was I just kind of apologized. What in the world? I kind of apologized to her, like meant like in my mind. And hopefully she could feel a release of some sort. I don't know, some energy of whatever. So that, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how you affect people. And it really got to me. It really got to me. I've done some things I shouldn't have done, and I have to start owning up to them. I can't make excuses for it. I can't just say, oh, well, I was just feeling this, and I was just, no, I have to take responsibility. Because in order for me to move on to the next thing, and in order for me to I don't know, just, I think to get all out of life what I want to, if I'm asking for things, if I'm putting, things out there that I'd like to have, I've got to make sure that my record is clear. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what I was doing. And I feel like that whole idea about the purging and everything and renewing is what I need to do. And so I don't like it. It don't feel good. It don't feel good. And at the end of the day, I have to forgive myself too, because it's like, I started beating myself up in the midst of it. And it's like, you can't beat yourself up either, because you are human and we do dumb stuff all the time. And I just, it's just like, when I don't have my kids, it's like I'm in a quiet place, I'm in a quiet place, so I have to really kind of come to myself and kind of deal with things that need to be dealt with while I'm alone. And so that's what I've been thinking about. It's been interesting, because I don't think I've ever dealt with that situation with that female, just even trying to think of saying I was sorry or even taking responsibility. Um, but when he said that about the hate or the toxicity, I was like, I don't want to bring any toxicity into a new relationship. I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess things up for whoever is supposed to come into my life because of the failed situation, with my failed marriage and everything. I don't want to bring all of that into a new one. And so, like, I have to deal with all of those things. And it felt good. Like, today, it was a tough day. I cried, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Because I knew it was something that I had to do. I didn't want to do it. And I don't know if it's going to make things better. I don't know if it's going to change anything. I hope it does. I'd love for it to. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't know what the future is going to hold for me. But it's like, when you feel like in your heart that there's something you need to do or say, if you feel like you need to apologize to somebody, apologize to them. Because forgiveness isn't for the other person. You've already heard this so many times. It is for you. It is for you. And you feel like a release, when you do it. And I just, it's a lot. It's been a lot. And I watched I know this is like so random, but I watched the Jill Scott and Erykah Badu versus, and it just did something to me. I was so impressed with them because they were so cool. Like, they were just women. I don't know, like, they appreciated the other's work. They listened to each other's music, like, intently. And they were just grown. You know what I mean? And I was like, I want to be at that level. You know what I'm saying? To where you congratulate another female or another person for the things that they've done well. And if they have great pursuits or great things to happen to them, like, congratulate them, praise them, as if it was yourself. Because when you do that, you're bringing it back on yourself. It's going to come back to you at some point. And so, like, I just thought that was really neat. I thought that was really neat to see. I thought it was really cool. And they were both beautiful women. And it was something that Erykah Badu did at the end. I watched all 2 hours. Like, I had to watch the rest when I woke up the next day. But at the very end, it was like the night before, Mother's Day. She called out all her baby daddies by their names and thanked them. Because without them, she wouldn't have her kids to have a Mother's Day. And I thought that was so dope. Like, I was just like, dang, she's evolved. Like, I was like, she's on another level with that. Because it was like, I know things didn't end up being the best with whoever, those fathers. But it's like, I've read that she's actually cool, actually friends with a bunch of like them and stuff. And that the fact that she actually thanked them made me do the same thing. I was like, I thought that was really cool. I think that sometimes women, we forget that you can't have these babies without the dude. You could feel however you want to feel about him, however angry and disgusted, but you decided to be with him at some point, intimately, enough to bring a child in the world. And whether he feels that way about you or not, or y'all have, whatever going on, that child is still a product of the both of you. You didn't just have that child and on your own. And so, as much as you want to be selfish, heck, I have to deal with it myself a lot of the times. Saying, my children, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But it's our children, because without him, my 2 daughters wouldn't be here, And I don't always want to admit it because it gets on my nerves sometimes, But at the end of the day, you have to always, always realize that it took the both of you to bring them in the world. So I did. I thanked him, and it was like, for me, that was a huge step because he didn't want children for the longest time. And he claimed that it was because he was scared and all of the above. And my pregnancies were not great when it came to our relationship. We weren't, it wasn't the ideal situation. It wasn't that loving. He's so excited to be a dad and take catering and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like that, so I didn't have that experience. You know, that part kind of sucked. But they're here, and he's a good dad to them. He may not do everything that I'd like him to do, but at least he's in their life. And on that, I have to be grateful for. You know, he wants to be in their lives. He wants to be there, and he wants to be their dad. And I don't have the right to keep them from him or keep him from being their father, you know? And so when people are like, you guys co-parent really well and this and that, it's like you got to get to the point where you have to be mature about your emotions. You got to be mature about what had and had not happened and what will or will not happen, or all of the things that happened. You got to be like, that's over and done with. You know, we have 2 kids to deal with that didn't ask to be here, you know, and we just have to learn to put aside all our differences and do what's best for them. Because at the end of the day, it's all about them. And it's like I told my mom yesterday, I try to build fun and happy memories for my daughters, because I don't ever want them to grow up and have any negative thoughts of their childhood. You know, when they think back, I want them to say, that was good times. Like, we had so much fun. My mom used to do this, this, and this. We used to, you know, I want them to, if I'm gone, you know, and they're grown and everything, I want them to remember all those fun times that we had. And with me being silly with them, because childhood is so short. And I remember, it's like I remember being a kid. Yes, it's like it was like yesterday. I was like, I'm 39. When did that happen? And I had the best time as a kid. Like, my mom made it fun. My parents made it fun. And I remember saying to myself, I want to do the same thing for my children too. And so, like, Mother's Day meant a lot to me because, God, I hate when I start getting emotional. It's so annoying. But I wanted Mother's Day to be like a great day for them because, yeah, me and their dad aren't together, and you know how like the fathers bring the moms the cards and the gifts and the flowers and all of you can't go out to dinner now. So that part's got scratched, but they make them dinner and all that kind of stuff. But I just felt like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to feel sad. I'm not going to look at the posts on Facebook and Instagram and feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it the best day. I'm going to make it a good day for my daughters, and I'm going to have the best time with them. Because I'm a mother. It's Mother's Day. I need to spend my time with them. And we had a blast. I had fun. So I have to start learning to stop feeling sorry for myself. I have to start learning to, when I start feeling that sadness creep up and come over me, to change it. That was something else that Erykah Badu said. She said that when she starts feeling like her breath getting shallow and the anxiety coming, she's like, she changes her breathing. You take deep breaths. And I noticed, like, with me, when the anxiety starts happening, you start breathing shorter breaths. Like, you it's like, that's when the hyperventilation comes in, because you're not breathing normal. And it's like, you just breathe. You know what I'm saying? It'll be okay, And I just have to learn it's going to be okay. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I have to keep telling myself it's going to be okay. Tomorrow will worry about itself. You know what I mean? Just worry about today. And so yeah. So I had some eye-opening things. I don't know if it's eye-opening, but just some things in my life that I'm taking care of. because I want to do things differently this time. I want to be better. I want to be a better partner. I want to be a better person, you know, period. And so I'm just trying to do that, and we'll see if that happens. And just in regards to the dating scene, I haven't been on to Black Planet. No, Black People Meet, because I have like 81 emails or messages right now, and I just can't look. I can't do it. And I'm actually still talking to the guy that I met on Black People Meet. He messaged me. He's the one that I've been telling you about. The cool one. We just hit it off. Like, he's funny. Like, he's cool. Like, it's no pretense at all. He's not inappropriate. I don't even know if he curses, because I don't think I've heard him curse once. And, like, you know, we talk about God, we talk about church, we talk about our kids, we talk about, relationships, because he's going through divorce and all that kind of stuff. And you realize you can always have it worse. Somebody's situation is worse than yours. And you got to be grateful that, you get through things. But he's just cool. Like, I mean, he calls me just really sweet guy. And so, when all of this kind of subsides, really, with the virus and everything, like, we're going to hang out and stuff like that. So that'd be cool. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? It's like, who knew? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going with the flow. You know what I mean? Just going with the flow. That's all I can do. I can't go past. I have to stay right here. Don't overthink it. Just stay right here. Stay in the moment. Take it for what it is. Don't take anything past. Overthink it. Don't overanalyze what he says. Just take it. And so that's what I'm doing. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, so I'll keep you guys up to date. All right. Be safe. Be blessed.